All right, let's talk about using the table of random digits. There are a couple steps we look for when we're using our table of random digits. The first step is to assign digits to each item in the population. Make sure each item has an equal number of digits. We then describe the digit movement. What line do you start with, for instance, and how many numbers should you choose, and how many digits are there going to be? The third step is which numbers should you discard or skip, and make sure that you are specific. And then the last step is just to mention that when you have selected the right amount, that you are then finished selecting. So let's redo the examples from class just to make sure we understand how to use our random digit table. So example 1 was talking about the Beta Club, and we had 20 people that were interested in going to the National Convention in Las Vegas this year, but we could only take 3. And so we're going to use our table of random digits to help select those 3 students out of the 20. So it's important to state how to number the students, and again, be specific. So I just stated number the students from 0, 1 to 20, so notice they have an equal number of digits. You need to start by assigning John the number 0, 1, and then go to the right so that Sarah is 0, 2, and so on. You could have another method for numbering them. You would just need to be specific about your method. This is just the one that I chose. But that way we would number them the same way every time. So we would say John is 0, 1, Sarah is 0, 2, Bob is 0, 3, and so on. And we would all get the same sample in a few minutes when we use our table. So next we need to state that using the table of random digits, because it's important to mention that that is what we're using to select, we need to start on a specific line. So I said start on line 5, and that is just random. You pick whatever line you want. So I said using the table of random digits, start on line 5 and choose 3, because we needed 3 students. So 3 2-digit numbers, and that's the next thing we needed. So we numbered them. They have an equal number of digits. We were specific about how to number them. And then we have to state what line to start on, how many we're going to choose, and how many digits they need to be. And the last part is what needs to be left out of our sample. So we need to skip the number 0, which again you write it with 2 digits, any number greater than 20, and any repeat numbers between 0, 1, and 20. So now we're ready to actually select our sample. So I've got my table of random digits here, and we remember we were going to start on line 5, so I numbered the lines. So starting on line 5, let me try to zoom in a little bit for you. We're selecting 2-digit numbers. So 7, 8 is not between 0, 1, and 20, so we do not need that number. 43 is not, 53 is not 75, not 86. Ooh. 0, 7, so 7 would be our first student we would select. And then 0, 1 would be our second student. And then we would continue. So we have 59 is a no. We just need one more student. So 87 is out, 29 is out, 76 is out, 70 is out, 31's out, 62, 24, 97, 66, 17. So we have 7, 1, and 17. Those would be perfect. Notice these gaps in the table. Those are just there to help visually make it easier to read. They have no other purpose. And if I did get to the end of a row, I would just continue on the next row and keep on choosing numbers the same way I was doing on this row. So I have 7, 1, and 17. I'm going to go back over here, and I need to finish numbering my students. So Tina was 4, Jack's 5, Aaron is 6. So Eve was lucky number 7. So she gets to go to Vegas. John was number 1. And then Kate would be number 20. So Shannon would be 19. Amy would be 18. So I can just count backwards and figure out Becky to save a little bit of your time. So our lucky students that go to Vegas are John, Becky, and Eve. And those can be listed in any order. It does not matter. They are just the 3 that get to go to Vegas. All right, so let's look at this second example from the notes today. To gather data on a 1,200-acre pine forest in Louisiana, the U.S. Forest Service laid a grid of 1,410 equally spaced circular plots over a map of the forest. A ground survey visited a sample of 10% of these plots. Describe a method using the table of random digits to select the first 2 of these plots, and then we're going to actually use the table to find them like we did with the students. So I've written it out to save time, but we always want to number them with an equal number of digits. And you write these directions just like you would just be telling someone what to do. So they don't need any extra words, just state things like number the plots, so just be direct in your statement. From 0001, so notice it has 4 digits even though it's just a 1, to 1,410. So that's the first step. Number them, give them an equal amount of digits. The second step in your process of describing using the table of random digits is that you have to tell someone where to start, how many numbers that they need to choose. The sun is shining in here. So starting at line 10 on the table of random digits, we need to choose 2 4-digit numbers. So that's the next really important step in our description. And the last really important step is to skip things like 0000. We won't need that one. Any number greater than 1,410 and any repeat numbers between 0001 and 1,410. And then it's nice to just say that you should stop once you have selected those 2 plots, because you certainly don't need any more after that. All right, so let's look at our table. We're going to start on line 10. So I've numbered it. We are looking for numbers between 0001 and 1,410. So keeping that in mind, we're choosing 4 digits at a time. So that's why we only ask you to find 2 of them, because it takes a while. So 6922 is not it. 6386, definitely not it. 5503 is too big. 8110 is too big. 8342 is too big. And we keep on going. 4311, 5473, 8250, 5814. Here we go. 0984. All right, so 984 is our first plot. So let's see what we have next. 7024, nope. 3649, nope. 9797, definitely not. 7349. Notice we end up with 1 number. So now we need to continue on our next line. So we had an 8258, so that still doesn't work. 3768 does not work. 8216 does not work. Keep going. 2049, 6848, 4318, 3609, 1252. Looks like the winner. Okay, so notice 4 digits takes a little while sometimes, but we won't ask you to find too many of those. So that's the good news. So over here on our sample, let's just put that we chose plot 984 and 1,252. So the main thing with these is to make sure that your process would be easily repeated by anyone that read your description. I hope this helps.